Vic is not doing a translation using the modern Syriac, as was told by a high priest of the original Church of the East, or rather asked why did he translate from the Syriac, and I've created a video around it. And he was told it's wrong. I created a video to get the statement, so you could see the statement from the horse's mouth, so to speak, right, from the translator himself, from his down website. And he was told it's wrong. The Syriac is wrong, or not the original language. All was originally as it was written in, but was written in the old sacred tongue, scribal tongue, the Assyrian Aramaic, Lishana Artika or Cypriot. Assyrians will recognise that. But the church does read from, or use the Eastern Peshitta and Syriac today in their mass, right? Because I was told that fact, right? Here it is here. A Syrian, when they had protests here in New Zealand over ISIS invading Syria, kicking Christians out of their homes, Syrian Christians out of their homes there, told me they still use that old language in their mass. Old people still speak it, but they can't translate it for you, as they don't speak English. So all use the modern vernacular Syriac. Because World War I or World War II, they all volunteered. The Syrians volunteered to help the British during World War I. The British promising them, we'll get your land back, which was stolen from you, if you just do this. Some came back, and of course the English had reneged on their deal, right? And basically told them F off, sort of thing, right? Did the dirty on them, which disappointed those people. That's how the West has been treating these Assyrians for many, many centuries, supposedly 18 centuries. Okay? But most speak Syrian and use Arabic in their mass in Syria there. And all info I told him about what Victor Alexander said, he said, yeah, all he's saying is correct. Also, many Assyrians who have looked at my videos on my channel and watched only decent videos on, but most speak Syrian and use Arabic in their mass there. And all info I told him about what Vic said, he said all he's saying is correct. Also, many Assyrians who have looked at my videos and watched, I don't know what how to put that, can't understand my own thing. Okay, here's the link here. Andrew Gabriel Roth translate the Eastern Syriac Peshitta from the same church. What do you know of and think of Andrew Gabriel Roth? Okay, I think it might be also many Assyrians who have looked at my videos are amazed. How do I know all this information? Am I Assyrian, etc, etc. I'm not really sure what they were saying. We'll have to go change it again. It baffles me myself. Okay, some links there to Victor N.Alexander's video, maybe the story of Adam and Eve. Andrew Gabriel Roth, Messianic Jew, translates the Eastern Syriac Peshitta from the same church. This is his website. So I asked this guy, the professor, what do you know of and think of Andrew Gabriel Roth there? Then Vic, being a native-born Aramaic speaker from Bet Narain, he found a way to revive a said dead language in the ancient, very old Kitab Ashra, Lashana, Artika or Lashana Cypriot. On his video, he is reading from the original manuscripts in Bible format he bought from that high priest of that original church founded by Thomas, etc. You have to look at the video and see that for yourself. Okay? Because we at the Ministry of the Real Truth, we bring you the sources, the links, the facts, the evidence, etc. We're not here to pull any wool over your eyes or sell you something or give you hype, fluff or other BS, right? Okay, honesty is our best policy and we strive to stick by that. So all who have learned the Syriac point the bone at him, or the ones that learnt in institutions, Bible colleges, etc., thinking they're experts because they've got a degree or a certificate or a pat on the back. They all point the bone at him, at Victor Alexander, and say he's incorrect, i.e. Dylan Downs, not so much. George Simmons, the Steve guy, etc. All who think his Aramaic is a Chaldean form, they have all learned Syriac via Western institutes. I think his Aramaic is a Chaldean form, not 100% positive on there though. Okay, so I asked this man, because he's quoted some Italian translated traders, So I asked him, do you speak Italian? He never replied at that point. Okay, but he tells me the Eastern Syriac Aramaic of the Peshitta. The Eastern Syriac Aramaic of the Peshitta is an ancient language going back to the 2nd century. Some say 5th. Okay, but okay, the Chaldean and Assyrian churches both use the ancient Peshitta. Yeah, that's right. They use the Assyrian. That's what they say on their site, right? I read from that, but they also probably use that Assyrian Aramaic, etc. I'm not sure. But the Chaldean and Assyrian churches both use the ancient Peshitta. Vic is doing his own thing. So what's he hinting at there? He's making everything up? Or that's his, whatever he's doing, right? That's his personal quest or whatever. Andrew Gabriel Roth uses the Peshitta, but his interpretations are influenced by Messianic Judaism. Yeah, that's right, because he's a Messianic Jew. You can see that, right? With the little yarmulke on his head on a lot of his videos. And he talks about Israel a lot. I have spoken with Andrew several times, and we made a video together for the Israel Bible Center. Cool. He met Vic years ago in Chicago. The Comprehensive Aramaic Lexicon online gives accurate renditions of the Peshitta, Old Syriac Gospels, and the Targums. So here it is. Here's the kicker. It's not giving this comprehensive Aramaic lexicon online is giving accurate renditions of the Peshitta, the Eastern Syriac Peshitta, the Western Peshitta, the Old Syriac, the Gospels, and the Targums, in that, probably in the Aramaic, the Syriac, right? I'm not sure on that one. I have to have a look at that, right? I tried to find it before. I have to look at it, try and find it again. Okay. So I replied, okay, so cheers, Vic is doing his own thing. Okay. Definitely, but corresponding with him via email, I tried to catch him out, have done my personal research behind his claims through native-born Assyrians, etc., and they all say he is correct, and am amazed I know of their history. They say they are banned from knowing, etc. Asking them to tell me about the Assyrian history, they run scared. I don't know why. I've also read the books on the patriarchs of that said original church, Ma Isai Shamun, etc. So how was Vic on a scale of honesty from 1 to 10 when you met him in Chicago, right? I'm not one who can argue with the high priest of that church, right? Of the original Assyrian Apostolic Church of the East. Unless I can prove otherwise, Vic is lying. I ain't got diddly. Okay? Nothing to go on. And communicating him for a year and a half through email, etc. I tried to catch him up. Didn't work. He was, yes, honest all the way. Okay, so I asked this perspective guy, this professor, are there not two churches, right? Because that's what I found. Two churches in the history of the Assyrian church. So the Galilean Aramaic was around before 1st century AD to 1st century AD, and before the Syriac, which is a modern Aramaic derivative, right? Assyrian churches. One, there's a buddy-buddy with the Pope in the Roman Catholic Church and their Mary worshipping, and the other that's separated from it centuries ago after Nestorius gave his theory on the hypostasis, or later, of which the church says they had the two substances idea before him, and that Jesus was both man, God and man. He was divine and human. Okay, of two substances, two natures. They acknowledged they had that idea before Nestorius, but they acknowledged him, right, for bringing that up in his era, but are erroneously called Nestorian church, called the Nestorian Church by the Roman Catholics, etc., because they agreed with him. But they split from the church in Europe and went and did the right ways, the apostolic of the disciples, that method, right? While getting crap from the Roman Catholic Church and Western Christianity for centuries. Okay. In my translator statement made videos, he says that the Syriac was a Catholic Protestant translation. Was he talking about his Western Peshitta? About the Western Peshitta? Because A.G. Roth bypassed that in the Vulgate when translating the Eastern Peshitta, according to his website statements at AramaicsScriptures.com. Kind of hard to get to the real truth when there is so much division and opinions and views fueled often by hidden motives, agenda, propagandist, paid shills, people paid to talk crap, if someone gets too close to the truth. Huge egos, How am I doing so far? Real truth wise or knowledge wise for your own personal research. Ask him again, do you speak Italian? Because he didn't reply. As I'm looking at the Italian translator of the Masoretic text, more of Baglino's videos and claims, but it's all in Italian. There's no subtitles, right? Or there's a translator sometimes. Okay, so I ask him, okay, so can I have the link to you and Andrew's video, please? And that's what he provided up the top. Yeah, as I stated earlier. Frankly, this is the kicker, right? He comes back at me, right? Still a nice reply. Not really a retort, nothing to really get angered about, right? Be calm, be cool, like cabbage and snow. And he says, frankly, that's me, you have been exposed to a lot of superficial and even very misleading information. Okay, probably referring to the stuff we find online. Okay, there are many churches that use Aramaic. Yeah, Syriac. Yeah, don't know if they use the Syriac. Syriac is merely the Greek name for a dialect. We'll find out why in a minute. Of Lishana Aramea. Okay, the Assyrians actually say Lishana Supreya. Right? Vic uses Lishana Attica. That's what he refers to. The Aramaic, that is spoken in Near Eastern areas. Okay, because this Aram, take off this ik, because that's a end suffix, which is a Greek word. We'll get to that in a minute. Aramaic, right? Take off this. It's the language of their forefather, Aram, mentioned in the Bible. Okay, the forefather or the ancestor of the Arameans. That is spoken in Near Eastern areas. The Chaldean church and Assyrian church is split. Okay, because they had a disagreement, didn't they? Ask Vic, Alexander, and Andrew Gabriel Roth any questions pertaining to them, if you get hold of them. As for me, I stay away from church issues and focus on the Bible. Which Bible is that? The Peshitta? The Syriac Peshitta or modern Americanized version? Okay. If you have questions on the Bible and the Peshitta, in particular, he could be happy to help. As far as the Italian translation, who has truth, what the churches have been doing, or other Aramaic teachers are concerned, I cannot help with that. And he says, here's the direct links, sorry. So I'll have a look at those. Those are all those videos. He talked about having a meeting with Andrew Gabriel Roth, the Messianic Jew, translator, owner of the website, the Aramaic Scriptures.com. Okay, so I replied, Syriac, the end suffix. Okay, this part here of that word, Syriac. This part here, sorry. Anything ends in an end suffix with ik or an ear or an end is a end suffix, right? It's a Greek loan word, Greek Latin loan word, right? I think it's mainly Greek loan word, right? As is ear. So really, there is no Syria, Asia, Pacific, Asiatic, Aramaic, etc. Yeah, there are many churches that use Aramaic, the Syriac, not the ancient Kitav Asherit, because it's a dead language, or Assyrian, as there really was no Assyrian Aramaic, just Assyrian. Native-born Assyrians will tell you that, as told me by a native-born Assyrian, not Vic. Okay, he said used by today's Jews to be Hebrew, the Kitav Asherit, right? When it's not, because if it was, it would be the same as that Assyrian Aramaic, right? Because way back they had the same words with the same meanings, but when it got modified, ancient Hebrew got modified, and they used the vowel system, the dot system, right? As happened with Islam, it not only changed the structure of that language, it also changed the meaning of the words. So now you have similar words of the ancient Aramaic, or the Aramaic, with the Hebrew, right? But they have different meanings, i.e. Yuma, which means immeasurable period, unfathomable period, age, era, eon, day with capital D, and Yom, okay, which might mean day, but maybe it's they're referring to it as the 6-day week, 7-day week, a literal day like we know. We've come in the West, we've become used to, right? You have Elohim, Elohim, which in that ancient Aramaic, old Aramaic, not this Syriac. It means over the flames, and it's part of the winged Mesopotamian winged disc icon, right? And the triune, right, which is very different if you know about it, you understand it, to the Christian Tertullian understanding of it, right? Very, very different. And then you have the Hebrew Elohim, Elohim, which is different. Supposedly it means one of three, something like that. I don't speak Hebrew fluently, but that's just what I read, right? Okay, so I said to him, Vic Alexander translates the ancient Assyrian Aramaic because he's from Bet Narain of Assyria, right? He's native born, and he speaks Aramaic, even if it's a vernacular. So in sum, the original Assyrian Apostolic Orthodox Church of the East and their patriarchs of old are liars, etc. Is this what he's saying? Okay, so all you native born Assyrians out there that attend this church, you know, and you know the history behind it, subscribe to our channel under this video, add your comments and tell us, come on man, that's a load of rubbish, you know, who's this guy, right? And give us the history, okay, give us backup, because what we're trying to do at the Ministry of the Real Truth is to restore, as Victor N.Alexander is, your apostolic faith, your religion, okay, yeah, your modern or your modified religion of, you know, involving Isha, Mashika, Maria, Allah, etc., etc., right? What better to get it from the native-born Assyrians or Syrians that are living there? Okay. So yeah, in sum, the original Assyrian Apostolic Orthodox Church of the East and the patriarchs of old are liars, according to this guy. Is that what he's hinting at? That's what I was asking him. And therefore, Victor N.Alexander, who he says he met in Chicago, and Andrew Gabriel Roth, he's done a video with, of that false superficial, of those false superficial churches, and also hoodwinkers, right? They're pulling the wool over people's eyes. So I started to ponder, right? Okay, maybe he's got a point. Then maybe that's why, as a member of the Assyrian Church on Facebook, I got hold of them, saw it there and got hold of them, and I had to apply, and they said, yep, we're granted you to be part of our group. They never reply me when I asked a question, nor did the official website, the Church of the East, right? So I ask, who is the one, be it church, scholar, professor, etc., who is telling the real truth? So all the oppression claims, etc., by the Church of the East is all phooey too? Okay, because I've read a lot of the autobiographies, biographies, the history of the Assyrian Church. I've forgotten this guy's name. Asher Cherry, I think. He's provided all. Yeah, corresponded with that guy a little bit as well. So shout out to you, guy. Yeah, so I ask, who is the one, be it church, scholar, professor, like this guy, etc., who is telling the real truth? So all the oppression claims, etc., by the Church of the East over the centuries is all phooey too? Wow. Now I know why people drop their faith and people head for the hills of atheism. But yeah, I'm still cool. Thanks for the heads up and realizations and insight. From personal research and watching TV evangelists, I came to believe they were superficial con artists, money mongers, all factions like the US Hebrew Israelites in the US were lying cults, etc., and even very misleading, having very misleading information. Okay, so I suggest that he translates the ancient Old Assyrian Katav Asherit. Give us, the Ministry of the Real Truth, his translation of the Eastern Syriac Peshitta text, or a link to it, and I might convert and praise him and his works instead. And I asked him a question on when meeting Victor Alexander and Andrew, did he tell them outright they were superficial, because most of what I've got is centered around them too, right? And I put down here, because I'm not mad at him, yeah? Not mad at you, nothing but love for you, Tupac Shakur. Okay. So he comes back at me with a reply. Based on the way you word your comments, I do not believe I can help you. Okay. If you have specific questions on the Bible and the Peshitta, let me know. Please do not make other comments about truth, various churches, etc. on my channel. Thank you, and may Allah have bless you. So I replied, may He also bless you, sir. Shalom, or peace. I respect it's your channel. I speak my mind. It's just me. After, when you're a child and parents say to you, well, children shouldn't be heard or seen, that sort of psychological, mental mind crap, they're all gone now. My tormentor, whatever, he's gone. So, I went to certain things and they basically teach you, to speak your mind. Be able to talk to anybody about anything, but, be reasonable, whatever. But this guy never answered my above questions about meeting Vic and or Andrew, and telling them that they were also superficial, because that's what he's telling me. So hopefully that's interesting to you. Was interesting to you. Hopefully he replied me. He probably did. I don't know. But okay, so if you really like that, that's probably a long ass video. Hopefully I didn't bumble and mumble. Okay, here we go. The Ministry of the Real Truth. Please limit your questions on this channel to specific questions about the Bible or specific questions about the Aramaic. Okay? That's what I've been doing. It's all about the Aramaic. Okay? Okay. Yeah, it's right here. Right? Yeah. Please limit your questions on this channel to specific questions about the Bible or specific questions about Aramaic. Well, that's what I've been asking, haven't I? The channel is not about your version of what it is or not as truth. What's this here? This channel is not about your version. It's not my version. It's Victor N.Alexander's translations from the original Aramaic of what is or is not truth, or about problems with various churches and translators. What the hell? Okay, I respect this is channel, but this channel, fair enough, is not about your version. It's not my version. It's according to what Victor N.Alexander states is the original manuscripts he translated into English. Okay, I'm just relaying to him that people are saying this and that according to whatever, and it's fact. Okay. So these people, like, they either can't answer your questions or they won't, because they got some sort of agenda, hidden motive, whatever, like they're propagandists and they just want what they believe and push. Okay, so they like block you off, right? Like some evangelists, street evangelists I meet, because I'm talking with them about the original Aramaic manuscripts, etc., translations into English. They don't like that, okay, because they're of the Western churches, denominations, whatever. So they try to override you, right, and say, oh, you're the devil, all this sort of stuff, make up all this stuff, right? And then they'll make an excuse, oh, I've got a meeting to see someone else down the road, or my brother's picking me up in the car down the end of the street. So you stand there, right, and you wait, and you look, and the guy's preaching down the other end of the street for the next 3 or 4 hours. Well, that's funny, his brother never turned up. So what do you think? Wonder, ponder, oh, the guy's a freaking liar. Yeah, it's just an excuse to get away. Like, some come to my house and they preach me all this stuff, right, about the Sabbaths and all this sort of stuff. So I show them the original Aramaic, the Exodus, the true Sabbaths, all that sort of stuff. And they suddenly come up with an idea, we've got a meeting with someone else down the road there, 4 o'clock, so it's that time now, we better go. Just lies to get out of there. It's an escape, right? Or his mate looks at the Aramaic New Testament, I show him, okay, so I could have a look at that, and he says, oh, I've got to be careful with this, all this sort of stuff, like, it might be of the devil or something. It's like, you've never read it. They just come up with all these excuses, So I'm trying to figure out, where's this guy's head at? Yeah? Again, fair enough, it's his channel. Limit your questions on this channel to specific questions about the Bible. That's what I'm doing. Okay? It's all about control, isn't it? Really. Limiting, control. Okay? They don't like people digging to find the truth. Okay, this guy's a professor. I don't say he knows it all, but he's pretty cool. Pretty cool dude, right? I find him really interesting. But yeah, I'm just like a person who just asks questions to the point where you just get totally mad, you lose it. Okay, that's just how I am. As a truth seeker. So he's saying, please limit your questions on this channel to specific questions about the Bible or specific questions about Aramaic. Isn't that what I'm doing? I'm not looking into a Americanized Bible version and say God said this, God said that, according to this King James or this NIV or this ESV or this KFC, whatever. This is what it says, and that's the truth, the whole truth. You know, KJV is the only authorized version. What are you reading? You know, pursued as the devil. It's like you get earlier comments to this man where this guy got really irate, and well, he dealt with him really well. You know. Somewhere down here, this guy was giving him a hard time, so he just basically told him, you know, mellow out, man. It's this one here. Riled up. Rabbi Toby singing. Did he do that? I wonder if I can get a video of that. Have a look at that video. What does he say here? How do you know that? Your last point is very good, and that is what probably riled up Rabbi Singer. So you must have had a debate with him, saying, I wonder. Oh, Bible Gateway, okay. Yeah, I wonder if this guy. Okay, I'm going to ask him a question. Yeah. So I'm going to ask him, because I was going to ask him, does he know about the guy's background in Indonesia, that he's a bit of a dodgy guy, right? According to this lady who spoke to another, converted to Judaism rabbi, right? That Toby Singer was a dirty guy. You know, she stayed with him in her flat or whatever with her daughter, and he was like standing there 2 in the morning staring at her lying on the couch for hours. The daughter was pretending to be asleep, and she noticed it and told her mum, right? So she kicks him out and all this sort of stuff, and that's why he fled from Indonesia and went back to Israel, right? And she said he's on these drugs, his medication and all this sort of stuff. But yeah, of course this guy won't answer to it, but I've done a video on that, around that. Okay, so I'm asking him, did you debate Rabbi Toby Singer? Yeah, because this guy here says he did. So I'd really be interested in that, because most people Toby Singer defeats. Okay, or that guy William Guy is the one who talks, and you know, he's in between. Okay, so yeah, hopefully you found that really interesting. Still love the guy, right? I respect him for being a professor, having the 2 doctorates and all the advice he's given me, but I'm still not sure, because he's coming from the Syriac Peshitta perspective, and that's it. Okay. Yeah, much appreciated. Respect the guy. He's earned his qualifications. He's got the right to be called a professor. But yeah, okay. So if you enjoyed it, subscribe to our channel. Let us know you liked it in the comments down below, and give us a thumbs up, and go tell your friends, wow, is this what really goes on, you know, with these highly qualified people and the laymen, you know, what the hell? Come to your own conclusions, and then add it in the comments. Tell us, yeah, you're right, you're so right. Okay, well, we will see you later on the next video.